Hello, Trekkies and Trekkers. Welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Trek Tuesday. I'm your host Orinda, and together with Amanda Hopper, I recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recapped in chronically following. Today we recap the episode The Engine of Command. But first, a note of the host of this podcast, Orinda. We would appreciate it if you like our videos, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and family. For now, the plot of the episode. The Federation ship Enterprise, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, receives a message from the Sheliak. Remove the humans on the planet 10 Senji 5 within 3 days, or the Sheliak will exterminate them. The Enterprise android a second officer to the planet to coordinate the evacuation, but the colony leader, Goshaven, refuses. He argues the colonists have worked too hard to establish the colony and would rather fight the Sheliaks than leave. Goshaven used the colony's aqueduct as proof of the colonists' ability to overcome adversity. As a show of force, Data destroys the aqueduct with a phaser and informs the colonists the Sheliaks are even more powerful. Goshaven reluctantly agrees to the evacuation. Due to hyperonic radiation rendering the transporter useless, the evacuation would require 3 weeks, but the Sheliaks insisted threateningly only allow for 2 days. In response, Picard exploits a loophole in the treaty and offers the Sheliaks a choice. Either wait 6 months for third-party operators or give Picard 3 weeks to evacuate the colony. Outmaneuvered, the Sheliaks agreed to the 3 weeks. Aboard the Enterprise, Picard comments on Data's fusion of 2 very different music styles in his performance, as well as his creative approach to convincing the colonists. Data concedes that he has become more creative. So guys, welcome back Amanda.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, and as you already know, you found out about my one of my budgies passed away there about a week ago, which I told you, which was on Monday morning, I think it was. And by some sheer luck on Friday, I went to PetSmart and found a all yellow one, and I named him or her Adrian.
Okay.
Such a cutie. It's such a cutie. All yellow.
Well, guys, I have excited news as well.
Ooh.
The 15th of June, I had my anniversary of being 2 years working on my other podcast, Orinda Talks.
Okay.
So that's
awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's
Woo!
And our anniversary is the 18th of July. Or was it August? No.
Oh, that's next month.
Yep.
Holy.
So that means we also already almost doing this for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are. Of
I
course.
knew we were close, but I didn't think it was that close.
Yeah, we are, and I remember that because I had the feeling first I had done my podcast. Orinda Talks was Orinda Talks Fantasy and Sci-Fi, but I changed it with what was it with a year or whatever, and because I put a lot of pressure on myself, I wanted to produce every week an episode, and that was too much for me in the end. So but yeah, I'm happy that I'm still here and our podcast as well.
Yeah.
So let's start with the recapping of this episode, and this time we had a data episode.
Yeah.
And I must say, right again, they have put a couple of times Data saying, I have no feelings. But he is the one who actually talked with feelings. Like when he talked to that, what's his name, Goshevin, he said at the end, well, this all is material and you can replace that, but alive you cannot.
Yeah.
And that was one of the amazing things, I guess.
And he said, like he said to the guy, you can replace things. You can't replace people, basically.
Yeah. And at the end, Ghost was defeated because Data made his point.
Yep.
But
very stubborn guy.
Yeah, and he even shot Data. But okay, we're going too far ahead in this episode, so let's begin by the beginning, and we see that Data and three others are giving a concert, and Data tried to convince Picard and Dr. Crusher that they had to come to a second concert because he doesn't have that much big of a role, and because the other musicians were saying, well, you don't play with feelings or with soul, so that's better to listen to, you know.
Yeah.
But
they could have been a little nicer about it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think in that way, Data underestimate himself, and I think that and that's I was thinking that right away when Dr. Crusher said something in the way of Data, you never know what people think, and if you are saying this right away in front, that's not good for you. And immediately I was thinking, that's the Gates McFadden we know. That's the teacher. That's the theater teacher. And I was really fond of that scene. Then Data sat down. I see the other three musicians, but why the hell is Miles O'Brien playing the cello? And we see never him playing cello.
Huh. Well, maybe one cello has a slightly different tone to it. Maybe, I don't know, because there's like instruments. Certain instruments they're like may look the same, but they can be a little different in pitch and tune too. Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we never see O'Brien playing cello. In all the other episodes, we never seen him playing cello. And only in this episode.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We never see him play. Maybe it's just an experiment for the writers to see what it would be like. Yeah,
but it is weird because you never seen him. Even in the later episodes and in Deep Space Nine, he never plays a music instrument.
Yeah, that's true. Huh. A little odd, but okay. That's
so,
true.
When they just started playing, Picard got a message from... Riker Riker hailed Picard because they had a message from the Celiac. And now I must say, I never liked the Celiac.
Ugh, no. They're like super demanding blobs of oil. They look like.
Yeah, but their whole attitude, and they think that human beings are in a lower species. So while Picard wanted to negotiate, the Celiac was thinking, "Oh, I am higher in ranking than you, so you don't have a voice."
Yeah, it's true. They thought they thought they were high and mighty above us, basically.
Yeah. Then Adol, Data goes to the planet, and he has to prepare the people on the planet for an evacuation. And I must say, I find that a little bit weird. Why not send Riker? Riker is more person people, not Data.
I think it's something to do with the atmosphere, like not being safe for like humans, but the people that are living down there anyway are used to it because their people have been living there for years and years and years. So maybe the fact that Riker and them, if they went on the planet, it probably wouldn't be good for them. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but if you don't can breathe on that, they have EV suits, etc. So why not? Or maybe because the Federation haven't been there for long. I thought it was over 100 years that they didn't haven't been there, and they want to make sure that people and the life we know are safe. Maybe that's why they sent Data. Although I must say, Data in this episode was very focused that he is an android and can't do certain things, because he must have failed a few times to attempt to convince the people that the Celiacs are murderous alien and super dangerous. Yeah,
he tried to do that.
So, firstly, the people didn't want to evacuate, and that was a big problem, especially because that what's his name? Shehaven was very stern in the way of saying, we have lived here for a long time, so no, we are not going to evacuate.
Oh yeah, he was stubborn.
And when they went talking to people, they were very rude to him. They were short-worded and...
Oh yeah, they definitely were rude to him.
Except for that young lady, I'm forgetting her name.
Oh, I can't remember. No, she wasn't rude to him at all. She liked him right off the bat.
Yeah, but I think she was some kind of technician, because she recognized him as an android.
She was super, super interested in him.
So when Picard first hailed the Celiacs let him wait. And you could see into the whole episode, there was some point that he was very stressed. But then he was thinking, screw it, you have a fight now, because you're not giving us the time to remove them. So you will have a diplomatic fight. And I think from this moment on, Picard become more diplomatic. So the Celiacs began being a lot difficult, like we're not moving and this and that, and it's some kind of an active war that you want us to wait, and you're wasting your time, and if you can't do it in 2 days, we will wipe them out for you, so you don't have to get stressed over about it.
Yeah, those guys were like really pushy, bossy, angry. Like, you can barely get your words in there, just being all bossy about it and saying, you gotta get them out of here, you gotta get them out of here, or we kill them. It's like, oof.
Yeah, and you know, and all those, they all get to say, I'm going to take regulation this and that, and on the subsection this and that number, we can do this, this, and this. And I was thinking, boo, you're dictating rules, but you're not keeping them.
Yeah. They're basically breaking the rules.
Isn't this our thing of type of thing to say of, we hated them so much that we want to kick them out of the first airlock?
Yes. This time we have an member of the alien groups that we want to kick out of the airlock.
Yeah.
And they're one of them.
So, Goshhaven will have a public meeting about the Celiacs, and he wants to contradict everything what Data said. He wants to say a fight and whatever more.
Oh yeah, he's like he thinks he's the big old boss of everybody, saying, "Oh no, we're not gonna leave here. My late grandfather built this place. He's buried up on this hill where the path of the water comes through." He's like, "Nope, we're not going anywhere." He basically says.
Yeah, and you know, it's just they couldn't convince them to what the Celiacs are and that they are so much stronger, etc., etc. And it looks like that Data was very, in one way, disappointed and sad that he couldn't convince them, because he know that all those people would die. And then that girl kissed him, and Data asked, "Why did you do that?" And she said, "Well, you needed it." And that was really a cute scene, by the way.
I know. Got kissed and he was confused. He's like, "What?"
But I think, you know, Data was saying a couple of times of, I don't have feelings, but in one way he showed feelings because he cared for the people. What was weird for a android? So then the next scene is that the Enterprise has trouble with the transporter room. And you see, of course, a young Wesley Crusher and helping Geordi
Riker.
and O'Brien with the transporter thing. And
Yeah.
Wesley was acting really like a teenager. Yeah, he thinks the impossible of us and we can't do this and blah blah blah. And I was thinking, Wesley, you're a freaking genius, kid. What are you complaining of? I thought this was a challenge for you. That is the
Wesley,
this is one of the
I think Wesley's always looking for a challenge.
This is one of the few times that I was annoyed by him. Normally I'm not, but at that point I was thinking, dude, do your job, get into it. You're lucky that you don't have to go much to school of that, because you already get so much age that it is not even funny for everyone else. But okay. So we are back on the planet, and Data is not welcomed by this general debate what Goshhaven is talking to the people. And Data said, "Well, I just want to talk. I just want to speak. Let me speak." And Goshhaven didn't want that. But the public, the people, wanted him to speak. And he gave a very good speech. But
Ooh, yeah, he did.
Goshaven didn't like it at all and was still stubborn. And then after that speech, because Data was unsuccessful to convince them, and then a few of the people say we're not saying yes like Goshaven, and there are other people who have still questions about the Shelix, and we like to hear more. So the woman said, well, come to my place then and we will talk further about it. You know, but those, and one of the those persons also said, well, we don't dare to say this openly because we are afraid of Goshaven. We don't dare to stand up against him.
Oh no, Goshen. He's the way he is. Goshen seems like he's the basically the big old town bully, basically.
He's the leader of
pushing people around. Yeah.
So now we're back on the Enterprise, and the Enterprise encountered the first Sheliak ship, the nearest Sheliak ship to the planet. And again, Picard tried to talk with him, but again, the Sheliaks hung up on him. That was the second time, I believe, that they did that.
Yeah.
And, Picard wasn't amused.
Nope.
So, now we are back on the planet again, and Data was talking with those people who want to hear more, and Goshaven busted them in the act and is very disappointed. Well, my immediate reaction was, how the hell does Goshaven know that, and why is he alone?
Somebody was probably talking to what's her name there in Data, and he probably somehow listened in, or somebody else was listening in, and decided to snitch them out, and he went on to the meeting himself without being, telling them that someone told him. So basically, they probably have a snitch amongst them.
Yeah, and then Goshaven was so angry that he shot Data. He shot him down.
Yeah.
And people were saying, "Oh my God, you killed him!" And he turned around to them. He nudged his shoulder and said, "Well, it's just a machine. I just turned it off." And then that woman started to repair him or get him back online. That's why I was thinking she was more like an engineer. And then we are back at the Enterprise, and Picard and Troy were and that was the first thing we saw, one of the few times that Picard got a lesson from Troy. She explained how the Sheliaks were thinking. That was in one way very, I don't want to say hard to see, but it was more like, yeah, but now you're, I don't want to say equivalent as the captain, but more like, okay, this is the advice I'm giving and this is the lesson that you're getting. When the woman was talking to Data, and he said, "Oh, that is a pre-phaser," and she was asking, "What is a phaser?" And he told him, "Well, this and this and this, and now I have a plan. Now I know how I can do this." And we switch over to the Enterprise, and also Picard has a plan with the Saliacs because they found out something. in this rule engagement with what the Shelley's had with the Federation of Planets.
Yeah, it's like a contract. They found something in the contract that he could use against them.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the few times that we see Counselor Troy this active. So now we are back on the planet again, and Data asks Goshhaven to come to the viaduct, and by this time, Goshhaven sent security and secure the place, etc., etc., and people were coming to that place. So Data was hiding, and he shot all the 4 guards without being seen.
Hmm.
And everyone was shocked. And this was one of a great line as well. Data said, this is just my face on stun. So they are alive. But this, and he pointed at some kind of a pump station. He shot that and he said, this is not. And he destroyed the pump station. And then he had made his point with it. And you could see that people were shocked all over, and Goshhaven was really, really devastated, disappointed in a way. But Data had made his point of, and he told him that, you couldn't see me. The Shelleyaks had more, but I'm just one android with one phaser. The Shelleyaks are with hundreds and thousands of them, and they will not beam down. No, they will destroy you from the ship, so you never will see your enemy who will kill you. And with that, people went back to their homes and start packing or whatever. And Data walked up to Goshhaven, and this was one of the most beautiful lines he said, and very wise. You can't, this material you can replace, lives you cannot.
Exactly.
And I think in that way he proved his point really clear.
Yeah, he was able to finally convince Goshen how stubborn he was being by doing what he did. Like, the guy was stubborn.
Yeah, he was.
He tried multiple times to try to exactly tell him that stuff can be replaced, people can't be replaced. It's basically what he's trying to tell him every time, but he's just being a stubborn person. Like, super stubborn.
So we are back on the ship now, and Picard has the solution to this whole fiasco with the Shelleyaks. And what he'd been doing, he said, well, I want via this section on this paragraph, I want a negotiator, and I want this species as a negotiator, but they are in hypersleep. They are in the hypersleep for 6 months, and the Shelleyaks were not amused. They said, well, this and that, and you can't do that, and this was Picard who hanged up on them. And then they healed back. And I must say, in this episode, Riker was very passive. And we don't know Riker like that.
No, he's more of a, I guess you could say, fighter?
So Picard let them wait, and he was walking to the plaque, and he tried to see if there is dust on the plaque. what was really weird, because come on guys, you're in the 24th century. Do you really think there will be dust on there? It will be cleaned right away.
Yeah, like there'd be no, like it'd be perfectly spotless clean on, like every single day. There'd be no dust, nothing on the carpets or nothing. Somebody would have that place spick and span clean. It'd basically be dust free. So why are you just doing that? Just doing that for the humor, I think.
Yeah, I think they don't. Sometimes they have those little human things that is from the 90s. You know, the typical.
Yeah. Oh, what do they call them? Roomba. Little hockey puck shaped thing.
So we are back on the planet, and Data is contacting the Enterprise for more orders, and the woman came to him and said goodbye, and she was hoping that he had feelings for her. Well, he didn't. So, and Data saw her distress, so Data kissed her, and she was asking why. Why did you do that? What was that for? And he said, well, you needed it. And so she was analyzing why he did it. It was the same reason she kissed him. Picard finally answered the call of the Celiacs, and they got their 3 weeks of evacuating. So that was a good end. Read it?
Oh yeah, you can tell in the Sheliak's voice. When he said, "Oh right, fine, you get your 3 weeks," he did not sound happy about it.
Yeah. What is better? Have to wait for 6 months to negotiate, or give them just 3 weeks to evacuate and it's all done?
Give them their 3 weeks and it's done.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than having to wait forever.
Exactly. So the last scene we are seeing is that Picard is listening to a recording of Data's concert provided by Dr. Crusher. And once again, and I love this about Picard. Picard is really a mentor to Data. And he was saying to Data, you played with feelings and this and that. And once again, Data said, no, sir, I don't have feelings. I just combined 2 composers and 2 violinists, and that's it. And so I think that was a very, very nice end scene for this episode. So Amanda, do you still have something to add?
No, I really can't think of anything to add to this. It was a good episode, and it wasn't just like focused on one person. It focused back and forth on multiple people instead of just one person in one area, which was really good.
Yeah, I think it's the storyline is very good, and I think they get the maximum out of it in 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, they did.
So the IMDb rating is a 7.4. Amanda, what do you rate it?
7.4. Huh. That was pretty good for an episode, I guess. I'm gonna be a little nicer and give it a solid 8, maybe.
Yeah, I'm on the same level. I would give it an 8.
Yeah, I would say 8. Because I did really good with this episode.
Yeah. Well, guys, this is the end of the episode recap. Only, guys, one note from me. We would appreciate if you guys like this video or like this episode. Subscribe to our channel. And it doesn't matter if it is on YouTube, Facebook, or on the other podcast providers. And of course, share or podcast with your friends and family. We really would appreciate that.
Yes, please do that.
So, well, guys,
Do it, because I done it.
so we see you guys in 2 weeks. Then we have another episode to recap. And now
Yep.
I need to check because I don't know if this is a video. Yeah, next time it is a video recording.
Oh, it's a video one. Which episode?
Which episode? Let me check. I just got it. The Survivors.
What's it called? Survivors?
Yeah. The Survivors.
Oh, yes. That one where they go down the planet and Riker ends upside down in a noose.
Yeah, we will see. So I'm curious about for next time then. And well, thank you for joining again, Amanda.
Yep.
And we talk soon again. And you guys
Okay.
see us. You can actually see us in 2 weeks with the episode.
Yeah, see you guys in 2 weeks.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Well, thank you guys for listening and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode we will recap the episode The Survivor, and it will be a video recording. I also like to tell you about my other podcast called Orinda Talks. Orinda Talks is a podcast wherein I talk about books, movies, fandoms and other geek things. You can find the Orinda Talks on the YouTube channel or the Facebook group. I also have a new YouTube channel called Orinda Reacts. On this channel I post reaction videos of history, typical British things, movies, books and geek things. But also explanation videos about typical Dutch things. We will see you in 2 weeks.